It's tiny, but it's on its way, say, to sophistication. So you need to be very present. You need to be very close to your customer base. It's a very well-educated population, so they're very much aware of what happens in the world. Very well connected to the first world. So you need to be there with them at the cutting edge.
When you say connected, I think that's perhaps when people look at Mauritius, physically you sort of bridge Africa and the East. And I think business-wise, Mauritius as a country is trying to position itself as sort of the bridge into investing into Africa.
We are part of Africa, clearly, and we are very active on the African front. But our population comes from diverse different areas, from Asia, from Europe, and from Africa. Our cuisine, what we would call Creole cuisine, is very much French-inspired, with a touch of Indian. But we also have Indian cuisine as our cuisine. We tend to do business naturally more in the old days with Europe because we were French and then British. Nowadays we're positioning ourselves to be the hub, in effect, between Asia and Africa, mostly targeting China and India, assisting, providing the base and the support to be able to go into Africa.
And why is that needed?
We believe that there could be cultural issues, which we think we are well positioned to apprehend and to understand. We think we have very good links with all the different countries. In a way, we are neutral, we blend in. We understand the needs of each one of the different players. And we are also the trade union, the hyphen between the two cultures, whether it's economic, whether it's cultural.
Mauritius has to make itself relevant in the global sphere, particularly when it comes to trying to at least capture some of this growth that is being seen in Africa. Do you think you can do it, or is it something you're still trying really hard to achieve?
Well, I think we can do it because we have the first thing that we have. I think we need to sort of remember Mauritius has no natural resources except our beaches and the sea. We have nothing else. The big strength that we have is our population, our people, and our people are well educated, travel a lot, are very disciplined, are very hardworking, and are very flexible in the sense that they would be in Mauritius, they could come to Africa, they could come to Europe, and
so
they would adapt well.
Multiculturalism is for you the biggest asset, and you're saying, listen, there's a lot of stuff in Africa that people might not understand, whether it's regulations, whether it's laws, whether it's cultural things, and the Mauritians are the ones to open the door, essentially.
We could open the doors because we're very adaptable. We adapt and we are flexible, and we also have experience in many things that are yet to be done in Africa.
You've done very specific things in terms of making Mauritius more accessible to business, haven't you?
We have really opened up. It now takes very little for an expatriate to come to Mauritius. The qualifying rules are very low. We have opened up such that when the people do come down, within 3 days, the permits are approved. All paperwork is done.
So the ease of doing business, you think, is the key to doing business?
Big time, big time. It's the ease of doing business, and it's the fact that when the person does come down, that they are accepted within the community. And they feel at ease, and the structure is there, and the process of going through setting up the business itself is not as tedious as it would be probably elsewhere.
And would you say investors are encouraged by that?
I would say we have actually been quite successful. We have a lot of investors from Europe and even from South Africa who are actually now coming to Mauritius.
There's a huge interest from South Africans setting up in Mauritius.
Huge interest. Actually, in some areas, you probably have a bit more South Africans than Mauritians now, in the sense that there's been a lot of South Africans coming to establish themselves in Mauritius as a base. And many of them work in South Africa, but also go work in Africa, not only South Africa. And for us, it's an added benefit in the sense that we get expertise that we wouldn't have had. We have a different way of looking at things, which eventually is shared in the community, and it really helps, again, adds value to what we already have in Mauritius. And we're very welcoming for that.